So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing.
Hello, welcome to Cottonbyte. In the last episode, I shared Bernini with you, that beast of a video editor, and since Scail 2 also got an update this month, I figured it's the perfect time to cover it. These two tools have quite a few features that overlap and can easily replace each other, mainly single to multi-person motion transfer, character replacement, and background replacement. But Scail 2 goes one step further. It can do lip sync alignment on the reference character you're swapping in. The use cases cover social media creative videos, film shot remixes, and e-commerce video generation, just like what you saw in the opening demo. So this episode, I'm bringing you the Scail 2 workflow, from beginner to advanced. First off, the beginner workflows are still split according to Scail's main functions. For example, the most commonly used features, character replacement and motion transfer, are broken into two separate basic workflows. This one I'm showing you is a low-spec, long-endurance workflow by Fisher with a built-in looping mechanism. It works best with videos that are at least 10 seconds long. The setup is pretty straightforward. Let's take a quick look. For motion transfer, the main thing is to input your reference image and reference video. Pay attention here. If you want a landscape video, use a landscape reference image. If you want portrait for mobile, feed it a portrait reference. Otherwise, the model will crop according to the resolution you set, and you might miss the face entirely. Then the forced frame rate is 16 FPS, but it does frame interpolation, so the final output is 32 FPS. Frame.lop cap is the total frame count. Just do the math. For 10 seconds, that's 16 times 10 equals 160. Skip first frames is how many frames you want to skip from the beginning. The second section is the usual stuff. Width and height, number of people, ideally 1 to 2, not too many. I'll cover multi-person scenarios with other workflows later. Then, a simple prompt, just write what the character in your reference image is doing. After that come the model area, settings area, sampling area, and mask area, with one extra looping area added at the very bottom, which is specifically designed for this long endurance version. The character replacement workflow is basically the same. The only difference is that this OneS Scail 2 video node has two masks connected, while the motion transfer one does not. I set up two separate workflows just to prevent anyone from making connection mistakes when using a single workflow. The dancing cat videos you saw in the demo were all made with this one, and I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. The reason I used a cat instead of a human was to test Scail 2's motion transfer on non-human proportions, because in the past some motion transfers led to stubby legs or giant heads. So this brilliant cat design was absolutely necessary. Alright, now let's move into the advanced workflow section. This one is a composite workflow, packing in everything, all motion transfers, character and background replacement, multi-person multi-character replacement, plus multi-reference image support. It's a bit more complex. This workflow mainly references the collaborative work of bloggers Fei Ho and Wu Kaisa. Fei Ho is a powerhouse in China who focuses on animate motion transfer workflows. She really knows her stuff, mainly researching WAN 2.2 related workflows. Wu Kaisa provides the technical support and is the creator of the WAN Animate Plus related nodes I introduced in the last Bernini episode. The mask and image stitching nodes in this workflow were all handcrafted by these two wizards. Everything has been uploaded to RunningHub already. Right now, if you register through the link in the video description, you'll get 1,000 free credits to play around with. But this promotion is ending soon, so grab it while you can. If Scail 2 alone can't quite surpass Animate in character replacement, then adding multi-reference capability absolutely seals the deal. This is perfect for scenes where a character was originally off-screen and then walks into frame, or when a character's consistency falls apart after spinning around. Scail 2's multi-reference image feature solves this problem beautifully, and it can even pick up some of the original video's movement. Made some adjustments to the workflow by moving many of the settings to the very top, because this workflow is a bit more complicated to use. This way, you won't have to frantically hunt through every section for the controls. Up here are the resolution settings and a quick toggle area, which includes the multi-reference image switch, the character replacement and motion transfer selection buttons, plus the background replacement switch and the image stitching switch. One thing to remember: if you turn off multi-reference images, you need to turn off both of these buttons inside. Same for turning them on, both must be on at the same time, otherwise it'll throw an error. If you want to replace the background, select Yes. I've also moved the frame rate settings and character count up here. The usage is the same as the beginner workflow above, except there's no frame interpolation calculation here. The brand new node in this whole flow is the OneAnimate Plus Scail2 embeds node. Download it here, and also the image stitching node, download here. I'll upload the links. In the workflow, upload your reference image here. The background image goes in the second slot, and further back is where you upload the reference video. These two boxes are for how many total frames you need and how many frames to skip from the beginning, plus the forced frames per second. Everything else can be left alone. Over on the right is the multi-reference image area. You can choose how many reference images you need. I feel like 3 or fewer gives the best results. Let me quickly explain how to get reference images, especially for multiple people. You take the complex action frames from your reference video and screenshot them. Then put them into a canvas. Use GPT Image 2 to have your designated character replace the original character in the video. That's how you get your reference images. You can either do a foregrid crop or generate individual images. This is exactly how I make all of mine. On the right is Scail's mask section. The reference image, multi-reference images, and video all have mask applied. Black background means it's going to be replaced. White background means it's being kept. This ties directly to whether you choose character replacement or motion transfer only. For character and background replacement, the video's background shows up as black. For motion transfer, it's the opposite. Also, when doing replacement, the character ideally should be bigger or wider than the original, so it can cover the mask properly. Otherwise, parts will poke out, like this original Belle has a larger skirt, and a trench coat outfit just can't cover it. You end up with an extra skirt peeking through. This Create Scail2 Colored Mask V2 node is for adjusting mask colors and tracking direction. It supports up to 6 colors and can recognize up to 6 people. Let's test it with a multi-person image. If you have a multi-person image but only one tracker, it won't be able to identify them, so keep that in mind. But the max is 6 people. More than that and it might merge 2 people into one. Another thing worth mentioning below is a multi-person image stitching node. It syncs the canvas ratio based on the width and height you set earlier, letting you stitch characters together for multi-character reference while preventing distortion. After that comes the One Model Loader and Sampling area. Now let's focus on this brand new node, OneAnimate Plus Scail2 Embeds. It has connections for all reference images, background images, multi-reference images, and more. These reference strength percentage parameters don't need to be tweaked. Tiled day can be turned on when you're low on VRAM. Prefix.lapRiCotCope, when enabled, removes the background from multi-reference images and keeps only the character, making it more precise. Preserve.8.retfrotbadabenkrang is for first frame background reference. Turn it on to keep it, mainly used when swapping backgrounds. I sometimes forget to adjust it, and honestly haven't noticed much difference, so feel free to experiment. This workflow looks a bit complex because it packs in so many features. Let me know in the comments, do you prefer an all-in-one multifunctional workflow, or would you rather have separate simpler workflows for each function. Not sure if I'm losing you here. So, first you need to know what you want to achieve. Judge whether the motion is complex and whether you need multi-reference images. Then decide if you want motion transfer or character replacement. Next, decide whether to use a reference image for the background or keep the original video background. If you're using image stitching, turn it on. If you already have a ready-made image with multiple people together, you can leave it off. It's all about mixing and matching according to your needs. One quick heads up. Yesterday the model for the OneAnimate Plus model loader node went missing. I asked the RunningHub engineers, and they said the node is under repair. That's why the Bernini workflow from the last episode temporarily couldn't be used. It should be working now though. Since Scail 2 focuses more on character and background replacement, while Bernini is stronger in overall editability, Bernini will probably be more widely used in e-commerce applications. You can go give it a try too. Overall, after using Scail 2, I have to say it's really impressive. So many camera movements can be directly transferred over, genuinely powerful stuff. But character consistency still has some minor deviations. However, every time I present something to you, it's what I've compared and found to be the most functional and best performing workflow. I'll explain the related operations clearly, but I rarely teach installation in my videos. That's because I feel like there are just too many new models and too many nodes from new creators. If I want to keep up with updates on new models, I have to cut down time spent elsewhere. You just learned this one, and then a new one drops. You have to go research all over again. But I believe the trend of AI development is that simpler and simpler things will emerge to replace previously complex workflows, so our time is better spent on things with more value. That's all for today's sharing. If you found it useful, please subscribe. See you in the next one.